Pirlo, close your legs, Pirlo.
Yeah,
close your
did you
legs,
meg him?
sunshine. Well, there's a bit of a story there. I got to the other side and sort of lost the ball, but I had no choice. I was running so quick, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, I can't believe I've just done that. How disrespectful. But I didn't get to the other side. Berbatov just looked at me and went, "What are you doing?"
Welcome to the Kyle Walker podcast.
Michael Brown also, or not? Am I allowed in it this time? Or I'm a feature, that's what I am. Just
No.
clipped in, drifted in, backstick.
No,
Ghosted in
you've
the
definitely
backstick.
never been a feature. You're always the main act. You're always the main act.
Come on, don't be like that.
Well, after the other day...
No, we'll leave that for later. Leave that for later.
Are we saving that for later?
We've got to leave that for later because
right,
we
we'll
can't
save
do
that
that
for
yet.
later.
What we've
We'll
got to
dive
chat
straight
about is Milan's form. You're on a bit of an upturn. You're getting a few results, which is nice.
Yeah, listen, it's always better, when you're winning football games. And we seem to have, I want to say, turn a corner. I still think that there's room for improvement, definitely, within the team, within individuals. But we're on a slight upturn, we'll say.
The one I missed is I wanted to come over for the Como game, but I just couldn't get there. I was gutted, really. I fancied that because that's one place I want to go as well as the football side of it. But
you're more than welcome.
No, I'm coming. I will be there. Do you know what? I will be there soon. But again, I was just watching Dele Alli, mate. So disappointing. Do you know when Dele got sent off? We know how hard he's worked and how long he's been out. And then you tried everything, didn't you, to try and help him to keep him on the pitch in that game?
Yeah, I think it was a strange one. When I got back off of the field, or 10 seconds after the incident happened, I think my heart kicked in. Now, anyone else, I would have just let him get sent off. That's game for us then, especially a man down at the San Siro. You think, okay, we go on and then go and do what we've got to do. But just with Dele, for how hard he's worked, and I know how hard he's worked, especially, off the field, and then to get his chance now at Como, I think it's fantastic. I think it's a good club, a good league for him to, try and regenerate and revive his career. We'll say, I don't think his career was by all means dead and buried, but from the Dele Alli that I knew at Tottenham to the Dele Alli that, people have seen or seen very not as much of over the last couple of years, to come back in your first game and then get sent off, I think it was high. I'm not going to deny it wasn't high, but I think the challenge on Ruben, it's more of a trip for the counter-attack rather than a cynical red. But in this day and age with VAR and stuff like that, and especially with this league, you're going to get punished for, silly challenges like that. But it's a learning curve for him. And, one thing here that's kind of a bonus is a straight red is only one game. So he only misses one game and he can get back onto the pitch.
I'd have been flying then, wouldn't I?
You'd have had a lot more appearances,
one match,
wouldn't you?
I could have another one. That'd be perfect. It's
You'd
brilliant.
have had loads more appearances.
I'll miss on Tuesday and I'll be back for next Saturday. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Weekend, couple of drinks and then back.
Listen, it was an important win for us, first and foremost, and that's what we needed. Yeah, that's what we needed.
Is that the worry? Do you know when you're going to win like that? Imagine if he'd have stayed on the pitch and then the result would have been different because they've had 11 men as well. So that approach can be one of those, where you try and look after someone, it can get you the other side, but you've got a decision to make and you do what's right. I think a lot of people would have respected you for that. A lot of pros would have said, do you know what, look at that, trying to look after people because you felt it was right, I think it showed a good side of you, to be honest.
I think your heart just kicks in, as I said at the start. There
is a big thoughtful person in there after all, isn't there? Do you know when everyone's like going,
Of course, but I think for the footballing terms, we needed 10 men. We wanted 10 men. AC Milan wanted 10 men. But for the personal relationship that I have with Dele, for the number of years that I've known Dele, for what he's been through, which is obviously he's publicly said, and I think he's been very strong and open about that and very brave in coming out and saying what he said, to finally come back after such a long time of being out, to then get sent off for not really a cynical challenge. It was a little bit hard done by, but it's the rules of the game and the ref has a job to do. And to be fair to him, the ref's done well there, and you have to give credit to the ref for doing his job.
Yeah, you can only imagine how disappointed he would be. Do you know, afterwards, when you reflect and look back and you sort of go, oh, why did I make that decision? You got one, you got a second, haven't you? And you just do it, and then you sit afterwards and you be sat, and there'd be no more disappointed than him, will they?
No, and I went to see him after because, again, as I said before, he's a great friend of mine. And he was down, he was disappointed, he was frustrated with himself for the decision. But like you said, and like every footballer knows, no one goes onto the pitch not wanting to be the best player. You have a decision to make within less than a second, I think, and you have to make sure if that's the right or wrong one. I know what he's tried to do. We've all done it, where you just clip the ankles of someone and they don't get the counter attack. But maybe where he's not played for a couple of years and is out of the rhythm of the game and everything like that, he's caught Ruben a little bit too high. And that was it. But I think they actually got a plane on the way back home together. So that could have been an interesting
Did they? That's good, isn't it? I think imagine you saying, right, well, I caught you, and they could have been worse. But so a little flight together on the way back. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I think that was the rumour. I wasn't too sure if it followed through. But there was no hard feelings from Ruben. Dele came into the dressing room after, seen him, there was hugging. It's just football. We move on from it, and Dele has to move on from it very quickly to make sure that he's back to where he needs to be.
I think they had a few WhatsApp messages, which he's obviously put out there to sort of say there was no hard feelings, which is interesting. You don't often get that sort of insight.
No, I think it's interesting. I think that's the world that we live in now, that you probably have to defend yourself more on social media rather than face to face with the person that knows it's not a cynical challenge. But listen, if Dele felt that was right to do, it's his channel, it's his social media. He's more than willing and capable of, making them decisions and what he feels is the right thing to do. And, would I have done it? Maybe not. But Dele thought that was the right thing, probably to say sorry to the fans and also to show that there was no malicious thought in there.
Back to Milan, which is nice. You're getting a few wins and walking around more positive. Fans, the feeling, the training ground. It's always nice, isn't it, to get a couple of wins under your belt. It's a better setting, better scenario. More people, more smiles on the faces.
There's most smiles around the changing room for sure. There's most smiles from the manager for sure, and I think just the vibe and everything around the training ground so much better around the city. Obviously, we're still down the table, which we don't want to be, and we need to start climbing that. And I think going.
Bit of banter as well when you're winning.
Well, yeah, you can have a laugh. You can be seen. Yeah, you can be seen to laugh. We'll say, you can be seen to laugh. If you're up for more insight, analysis, and stories of the game, look no further than the Football Daily podcast. Daily episodes cover the latest news from the Premier League, EFL, and European football. Plus, there's interviews with big names from the footballing world. Subscribe and listen now on BBC Sounds.
You can now watch us on BBC Sounds YouTube channel, can't you?
Now see our face now.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it. You want to see if you're serious, see if you're not, see if you're eating, see if you're messing about. Thomas Tuchel will be able to tune in. How was he? Back in the old England squad. Love it.
Yeah, he's good. Obviously, 95 caps now. So the 100 is getting closer. When I first started with Capello, and to think that all them years ago, I probably said in my head, and I know I said in my head to my agent, that I wanted to get to 25 caps. Then you're looking for the 50, and I was on 49 and got sent off, and then you're kind of thinking that's it, it's all over, because I was out of the squad for probably around about 16 months, which I've said before. You get that 50, and I kind of just carried on from there. Listen, it's helped a lot with England doing so well and going so far in tournaments, to get these caps and get rack the numbers up quite quickly. But it was great, it was different. Obviously, we had Gareth for so many years, and for me, Gareth did nothing but great for England. I think for a manager to get to two semi-finals, one semi-final and two finals in a European Championship, I don't think people really understood what he actually did for the country, and it probably made England fans fall back in love with English football. But But it's a new reign now. You have to forget that. That's in the past. You turn over the page, and what a manager to bring in with the experience that he's got with managing the players that he's managed and the clubs that he's been at. So it's exciting. It's exciting for English football. It's exciting for the lads that are involved. And hopefully I can get a few more caps, which will get me to that 100.
Do you know what? Whatever happens, let's be honest, we're counting them, aren't we? Every time, and I'm forecasting now, I'm looking to say, when's the next one for you? Do you know, we always want to see if you can get to 100, and I'm sure you will. But like you said, you've achieved unbelievable anyway for your country. You're still hungry, you want to do more. But Thomas Tuchel, I was really impressed with his interview. When he announced the squad, then he come on, how he'd spoke to everybody right throughout the journey. He seemed to handle the pressure, the questions really well. When you walk in, the first meeting, was it together or had he sort of come up to individually along the way? Have you got to see him, or was it like, right, there's a meeting at 10 o'clock, we've all reported, away you go, and there's the first point, or was it sort of
I mean,
fed?
we met up at St George's. Everyone's probably arriving in drips and drabs because some people are travelling from London, etc., etc. And there was a meeting at lunch, just before lunch. He addressed the team, obviously said how excited he is. He really wanted the job. You know, he could see the enthusiasm, you know, and you could hear the enthusiasm in his voice. And I think for the players as well, sometimes, like for me, moving to Milan, a change is good. And we just need to prove now, because we've got no excuses. We've got a great manager. We've got a great set of lads and, you know, fantastic individuals, but also a fantastic team. But I think he said to me there's something like 24 training sessions or something along them lines before we go to a World Cup. So for
it is limited time.
yeah,
Right?
so for international managers, I don't think people actually understand how difficult it is to gel a group of players that come, you know, every 3 months. As quickly as he has to do that, it's very difficult, and you know it's going to take a little bit of time for him to adapt to that and everything. But you know, he's took it in his stride. The staff that he's brought with him, you know, Anthony Barry, Hilario, who was the goalkeeper at Chelsea, and Nico, the fitness coach, they've all, you know, seemed class. We played actually a game of Wolf, which I don't think you'll mind me saying, which was quite good. But you get to see a few of the characters, and I think for him as well, it was more of a squad building. You know, who he could see was vocal in the group and stuff like that. And yeah, it's always good to get away with the lads.
I'm just thinking about it. Wolf, what's that then?
So the Traitors. So we
Okay.
call it Wolf, but it's the Traitors. So we played the Traitors. Andy Walker was the narrator. So there was obviously, yeah, like they do in the Traitors, you get the killings in the night and stuff like that. And it's a good bit of fun, you know, trying to convince people if you are a faithful or a traitor.
Okay, I'm with you.
It's draining. It's draining because when you get into it and you're like emotionally invested into it, it becomes draining. But I think for him, it was about squad building and getting us together.
Who was it, and who took it serious?
The Traitors was Jude Bellingham, got voted out. Harry Kane got voted out. The 3 that won it was Jordan Pickford, Morgan Gibbs-White, and Dominic Solanke.
Good effort.
So don't believe a word any of them say.
Were they traitors or faithful?
They were the traitors.
Were they?
Yeah, they was the traitors.
So I can't believe you. I thought you'd have been involved right to the end, or
I was involved, and you know, like when you see people and you're on people and you're like, okay, it's you. I know it's you. Your demeanor's changed. Like there's different cards in Wolf.
Who did you pick out? Who did you pick out? Who did you have the card marked? Who did you
So I was sat next to Harry Kane and Jordan Pickford.
Oh,
and
sandwich.
So I'm sat next to 2 traitors, and I'm talking to them saying, "You're not a traitor, are you?" And Harry Kane's like, "No, I'm not a traitor," and I believed him. But there's another
you
card in there.
You would believe Harry Kane, wouldn't you?
Well,
do you know, like I would believe Harry Kane. I don't know.
You ask him a question, and on his question,
Pickers is like he's got this mystery. And he's a bit mad at so Pickers could like take something off you or laugh at you. But Harry Kane, you'd think like he'd just be like, I don't know.
But Pickers as well normally is when he is the wolf or the traitor, he goes bright red. And when I asked him, he was bang still.
He's lost his
So
redness. What's that?
he's lost his redness, so he's become better
Big
at lying.
redhead.
One of
What's
the
up
two.
with him? He might have a bit of a tan, mightn't he? What's up?
Yeah,
the weather's
one of the
changing,
two.
isn't it?
No, but listen, it was good fun. It was good fun. I
That's
think it brought the
important,
squad
that, isn't
together.
it? Do you know, good fun
Yeah.
straight away, not just on the training ground, relaxed setting that you all can do that, because that's the hardest thing. You're together for so long that you want that environment, and you don't know going into it, the new manager, how serious it's going to be. Can you still have that? Can you not? But that's a good sign. On the training ground, a bit of fun, but very serious, very organised. I'm guessing detail must have been right up there.
Yeah, the details, just on par with Pep. I think for me, with the positions that he wants certain players to play in, with the positions that how he wants to build up from the back, how he wants to do certain things when we get into the final third. Everything is in detail, but like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, so it is going to take a little bit of time.
Hey,
You like
what
the
a
punt
line,
there?
eh? What
Yeah, you
a
like the
line.
punt there?
Where's that from, mate? Any ideas?
I just popped in
you're
my head and I
learning.
just thought he just sounded right.
You're learning, aren't you?
Yeah, but I think
I thought
listen,
you
it's
played
gonna
really
take
well
time.
against Latvia. The game you got me tickets for. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it. I left
Did you
as
enjoy
Harry
it?
Kane scored the goal on 69 minutes. And
Perfect.
as
So you saw
So I heard
nothing
in
of
the
me.
radio, and then you come on.
Yeah, fantastic.
So I was
I've
there
got your
in
tickets
spirit,
to watch me.
but then I couldn't. I thought you might have just made it a little bit earlier. Second I walk out the stadium, I'm listening to my AirPods, as you know. I'm always listening to something on the radio, as you know. I was just listening to the guys, Radio 5 Live, John Murray and Dennis. And then I heard you coming on.
Yeah. No, it was. I probably kind of thought that the manager would give some of the players that didn't play in the first game a run out, but he put me, Jord, Ebbs came on before us, and Phil came on before us. I was thankful, very appreciative that he gave me another cap, and I got to 95, which is 5 more away from 100. Yeah.
95, it's all there, isn't it? It's hard when you're playing teams, though, isn't it, that don't come out and you're expected to win easy, and everyone says, oh, why haven't you won 5-0, 6-0, 7-0 because of that? It's the opposition. But when they don't move, it's tough, isn't it? At times to break teams down.
They're the toughest games. I don't think people understand. When other teams come at you, it's very easy to obviously find the gap, find the spare man and find the space. But when you've got 10 players behind the ball, 5 in defence, and probably 10 players in the box when we're having shots and stuff, they're doubling up on Marcus because they know the pace and the power that he possesses.
He did push the line a lot, didn't he? Very early. He tried to attack. He tried to push it in behind. Yeah.
You come inside, you're running into bodies. So, and then obviously you've got Jared on the other side that likes to come in, but he's probably had to attack the line a little bit more as well because he's running into bodies on the inside. But we have to take that as a compliment with the respect that we have with the players that we've got. A lot of teams are going to probably come to Wembley and sit with 10 players behind the ball. So we need to find ways of breaking that down. And that's down to us as a team, down to the manager as giving us ideas. But I think it's down to the 11 on the pitch to, work out them situations themselves now.
The one thing I noticed from his press conference that I said I was covering it live, and he said we're going to give the players details about going back to clubs because we only have that amount of training sessions that you said. And I felt, that's difficult because how do you go back to the club with a particular remit to do something, yet your clubs are so detailed as well? So how did, maybe that might just be a word he said, in the press conference, or it's something to be aware of. We have to look to what we're doing, not just in a training session. But did he leave with is a particular speech? Was it just the end of the game? And
no.
debrief when you finish the game and say, well
obviously
done,
you have a debrief. You say what we could have done better, what we should have done better, etc., etc. But he left with a nice message that I'll be in touch with each and every one of you that is in the squad now, and I'll give you my feedback, which normally you don't get.
Do you see me seat there? Look, see how short it was? Because I'm only 5'7". I'm had to up it. I'm had to take it up. Everyone, have you seen it? I got a little note going, bring the seat up, because I've been doing the whole podcast like that. I got a big white head on me. Big white on it. Any chance, I've got the seat up. Any chance you can sort that light out that's brimming on my forehead, please?
No, but
he's got one on his teeth. Look how white they look. Some new, been working on your gnashers?
No, mate.
As well as your modelling. Modelling, so we not mention? We can mention that.
No,
can't we?
Yeah, we can mention that in the other one. That'll be much better because we've got a bit more to talk about, haven't we?
Don't forget, you can send in your questions, can't you? Because we've got a question and answer episode now as well.
And also, please email us at carlwalker@bbc.co.uk. Send us your voice notes in and any questions that you want to ask me and the legend that is Mr. Brown, Michael Brown, my lord.
Yeah, we can keep that in. That's perfect. We like that one. Thank you. Cheers. Don't lose that. Thank you. Did you see somebody giving you a right good mention? Djed Spence. Have you heard about it?
I've seen it. I've seen it with Rio.
Have you heard about it? We might be able to listen to a little bit of it now.
Yeah, somewhat. Oh, okay. Let's go.
Who are the other fullbacks you go, you know what? That's the standard. When you look around, anywhere, when you look around and go, listen, that's the standard there. If I want to be what I want to be, I've got to get to that standard there. Man saying there's no one out there.
No, there is. I always looked at Kyle Walker, to be fair. I mean, yeah, what a player, phenomenal player. What he's done in the game. For me, the best right back Premier League history.
Is it?
Yeah, man.
I think that as well.
Yeah, I think he's an animal, like physicality, just good at going forward, good at defending. I mean, yeah, he's just. I'd probably say him is that's the level that I want to get to. Yeah.
How nice is that? It's nice, isn't it?
It is nice. It's always nice from hearing it from your fella footballing, players that that they look up to you. Obviously, I think personally, from me coming back to him on his career, again, he's had a few setbacks from coming back from obviously flying at Nottingham Forest, signing for Tottenham, then going out on loan. Some people are forward, but I think this season especially he's played out of position at times with Tottenham's injury crisis. Yeah,
left back, done so
he's he's just took it in his stride, and I seen him actually play at Nottingham Forest, and I thought this one's going to be a good one, and you can see a Premier League team snapping him up. Did I know it would be my old team? No, but I think that he's doing fantastically well this season. Probably unlucky not to get a senior call up to the England team. But if he was there, he'd probably have took my space. So just hold off for
you say if he goes there for another 5 or 6 games. Listen, I thought you were going for 110. You got to go for it. See how you go to.
Ashley Cole's on 1-7.
Never say never. That's I just think keep it going. Keep it going.
I will just keep going. I'll keep going for as long as obviously the manager feels that I can play at the international level and that team need me. I'll always be available.
Oh, look at that. Hey, it's like off the script, innit? Do you know what? Do you know when he says he looked up to you and you watched him? Even Rio agreed with him, which, well, I think Rio's had a few next to him. See, I used to like Paul Gascoigne. Gazza was my one. Do you know, when I was playing, I'm thinking Gazza's amazing. So who did you look up to? Who's probably been the best right back?
Kieran Dyer. And I'm not saying strangely enough because he wasn't a good player, but, obviously you've just mentioned Gascoigne there, legends of the game, for what he went and did for, both club and country. But, Kieran Dyer played a few times, a fair few times.
Fullbacks, come on, in your position. That's what I mean. Who's your fullback?
It was difficult because when I went to fullback, you remember Joe's Bosingwa, who played at Chelsea? I used to like how he got forward because he was like the modern day fullback back then of, getting on the overlaps, getting the crosses in the box. I don't think you can ever mention a fullback, especially in the Premier League, without mentioning, Ashley Cole. He was incredible.
Yeah, he's right up there with the best left back. Roberto Carlos as well, isn't he? Who's probably been the best right back in world footballer, do you think, ever?
I don't think.
Do you know any of them, or have you lost touch? There's a few out there, isn't there? Played for Brazil and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't. Cafu.
Oh, Cafu. Cafu's really good player, isn't he?
Are we moving on to it now?
What do you mean moving on to what? I don't know what you mean. So you looked up to Cafu a little bit, did you?
So, listeners, Michael Brown played in a charity match.
Cafu, yes.
At the weekend, and I watched it, and I made Jordan Pickford and Aaron Ramsdale watch it with me. He scored, I'll let the viewers know that
Oh,
he scored.
thank you, mate. Oh, I forgot
He
about
scored.
that. I didn't
Little
realise.
side foot,
You were
and
watching
he
it
was
with the
buzzing.
England players.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And
Cafu
I
was
couldn't
playing,
believe
wasn't
he
he?
was
Who was
on
it
this-
against? Tell them.
AC Milan. It was quite
Milan.
ironic. Our Tottenham v AC Milan, and Michael Brown has got on the same pitch as Cafu, Dida, and Pirlo.
Well, Pirlo, close your legs, Pirlo.
Yeah,
Close your
did
legs.
you meg him?
Yeah. Well, there's a bit of a story there. I got to the other side and sort of lost the ball, but I had no choice. I was running so quick, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, I can't believe I've just done that. How disrespectful. But I didn't get to the other side. Berbatov just looked at me and went, "What are you doing?"
So you've megged Pirlo.
Wait, if I didn't get the other side.
Yeah,
but
I'd have pulled up with cramp or something.
But Berbatov went, "What are you doing? Like you
Yeah.
don't ever even attempt, try, go anywhere near him." I almost apologised, right? And I said, "Oh my God, what am I doing? I can't do that." But you were watching, weren't you? Just watching.
Yeah, I was watching.
Couple of goals, we had a knocked in. Me, Pirlo got one. Yeah,
Well,
it's
from
nice.
the obviously the start, Tottenham got out of the blocks, and I think probably the level of the Tottenham team was slightly younger. You've got Aaron
just a
Lennon
bit. Michael Brown
still bombing
oh.
down the wing. You started on the bench, didn't you? Which I wasn't too happy about.
Mate, I was delighted to get in
Oh,
the
was
squad.
you delighted?
Mate.
Yeah.
Mate, I was
No,
buzzing to
you
be
did.
in the squad. Come on.
No, you deserve to be in the squad. But Tottenham set off flying. I think you was 4-0 up by half time.
It might have been 5. It
might have been 5, and I was kind of thinking like, okay, what's this going to be like? But Pirlo's put in a great free kicker past my old teammate Michel Vaughan.
Oh, mate, he wasn't happy. So the free kick come. It wasn't necessarily a free kick. Cafu goes down, gives a free kick.
Yeah.
And as he's approaching the ball, you can just see a player go to get it, and Pirlo goes, blah, 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 something in Italian. And I was told, what did he say? And he goes, "Do not touch the ball." That was what Pirlo said to his teammates. Do not touch the ball. So obviously when he says that, everyone just disperses. And I'm obviously thinking, having a bit of a laugh there. I said to him, "Stick it in the top corner, like right in that top corner." He went, "Okay."
And just
So there's a bit of a delay. He steps
bit like
up,
Reece James's one,
curls
wasn't
it right in the top corner, and he runs off like that. And I went, "Nah, you missed it a little bit. It weren't right in the corner."
It wasn't. You were just a couple of
He
inches
were,
off, mate.
He was laughing his head off. Right. I mean, do you know what? It was so nice. The players from AC Milan, which is fantastic. Obviously, you know the Spurs boys, but it was really good. They were really, really, really good. Held themselves really well. Very approachable to everyone, which was great. So it was a great day for Spurs and the community trust, raising money for the charity. So it was enjoyed it. It was a special one. But I'm glad you were even watching it. And can I mention that you FaceTimed me at half time? And I was like keeping it quiet. Ozzy Ardiles was trying to do a team talk, and you've gone, "Let me have a look." Teddy Sheringham was giving him a bit of stick, and then you ended up walking round, didn't you? Because the kit man put you all around the.
Yeah, well, I know Jukesy. Obviously, was Jukesy there when you was there, Browny?
Yeah, yes, he was. He was
okay,
just
so
coming in,
he's just part of the furniture now, Jukesy. But he's a great guy, and obviously there was a lot of faces in there that I played with, and it was good to see them and say hello. Obviously Gomez, who else were they? Ledley King, Michael Dawson, Aaron Lennon, Robbie Keane, Defoe, Asa Okota, Basong, Eunice.
Oh my God, Berbatov.
There was Berbatov. There was a lot there. Even Stefan Freund, he was my assistant manager. Yeah, he was my assistant manager. Yeah, he was my assistant manager under AVB. So, just to see players like that and old faces, it's always nice. It's always nice. And them charity matches, hopefully down the line, I'll be involved in them. But I mean, even for you... Yeah, but even for you to obviously see these players and, reminisce on old times, it's good. And I think sometimes when you move club or your footballing career stops in a certain way, you kind of lose touch with people. And then charity matches are always obviously good fun to raise the money for the foundations and stuff like that. That's the most important thing. But also for us, these are players that we spent, a lot of time with and a lot of hours with to, have a catch up and a reminisce. It's always... good like we do frequently on this podcast now. I don't see you every day.
No, it was good. And what they did as well is, because you've got the legacy number with Spurs, they give everybody a gift. So you'll probably have your legacy number coming your way. I didn't want to spoil the surprise. What
was your number? What was your legacy number?
Yeah.
You can't remember it?
Yeah, it's 657.
Pardon?
657.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Well, it's really lower than mine. Yeah.
What's yours, yeah.
I don't. I know it for England.
Yours is
1,178.
Fantastic. I don't really know my England.
Have you got yours?
I
for
don't
England?
know my England under 21 legacy number.
Okay.
No, but
I think you'd probably be around about 67 or something.
yeah, surely,
Yeah,
There's a few analysts messaging me after my performance.
Who
was
was in your team at the England under 21s? Who did you play with?
he was the what number's that shirt up the back there?
That one there?
Yeah.
32.
Whose
Did he
was
wear
that?
that?
Whose was that?
Beckham's.
Yeah, I played with him at 21s. He
Oh,
was,
well,
he
yeah.
good,
Yeah, was
good,
he all right?
I taught him that. Do you know that whip thing with his leg
Okay.
like that?
So what did you say when Beckham had the ball? Did you just say, if you're ever in any trouble, just give me the ball and I'll be fine?
I just said, give it me. Just give it
Just
me
give it
and I'll
me.
sort it out. Or just stick it in, like whip it.
And whip it and I'll just be there.
Whip it
back
in and
post.
I'll be nowhere near it because I'll be chasing people back in the middle. But if it comes out the edge, then I might be there.
Yeah, I might
be around
score
it
a
to
screamer.
find it.
Yeah,
So
brilliant.
we just go back to nutmeg.
Yeah.
Have you had a nutmeg yet in your career? Oh,
Have I done one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there one you can remember?
You know, I got
Go on.
really good ones. Dan Burn at Newcastle.
Oh, he's the topic at the moment, isn't he? Dan
Yeah.
Burn.
Dan Burn, I got, and you know what? I'd like to say congratulations to Liverpool for winning the Carabao Cup. I think something obviously
Was that a
City.
sarcasm also, or do you mean for Newcastle?
No. I think for Newcastle, for the team, for the fans, for the city. You know, obviously it's a very passionate city.
Only
It's
because you
good.
started with congratulations Liverpool. You meant in the Liverpool game, I think that's
In the
what I-
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it as a dig either.
Yeah.
You know, to Liverpool by no means, because it was a tough week for them. But where I'm not in the Premier League now, I feel that I can speak a little bit openly a bit more about it. And I think for Newcastle, for the owners, for the money that they've spent, for the city, you know, them the fans are second to none. You know, they're second to none, and you know, for them to actually go down there after so many years of not winning anything to finally get the hand on that trophy, and obviously Big Dan Burn scoring, being a Newcastle fan himself, he knows just what it means to everyone, and you know, he took that form straight into the international and settled in really well, you know, for his first call up.
I bet he was still smiling when Dan Burn when he met straight into that England camp. He must
You
have
know
been-
what is you don't have a perception of people, but when you don't know someone, you kind of, when a new player comes into the team or anything like that, you kind of think, okay, how are they going to gel him? But both him and, you know, Miles, they both fitted in really well. Obviously, he got a goal on his first start for country at such a young age. And, you know, hopefully he can go on and keep improving now, because that's the bar that he set for himself, especially at Arsenal this season, you know, breaking in. And I know obviously Zinchenko very well, and he's a very, very, you know, solid player. So to kind of nudge him away from the left back role and make that his own, it's fair credit to him, and he just needs to continue now.
We've done it. Another one done. Like
Another one
that, innit?
smashed
Just
out.
flies
Just
out,
smashed
doesn't
out.
it? So
Remember, if you want to ask a question for our Q&A episodes, email or send in a voice note to kylewalker@bbc.co.uk.
or leave a question in the comments section if you're watching us on the BBC Sounds YouTube channel.
Grazie and ciao ciao.